Well, inflation drops to 1.6 in Canada. CPI report comes out below 2, below 2.5, below all the benchmarks. 1.6. Woohoo! Is it important? Not really. No, it's not really important. All right. Here's what we got to realize. And I've said it many times, but I've got to keep hammering it home, particularly when there's something that's below everyone's expectation like this. It's about trend. It's not about today's report. Because eventually the reports won't be so hot because there's something called base effect that's going to come into play soon. There's a bunch of other stuff. But what does it really mean? What does this low inflation number really mean? First of all, it doesn't mean much to anybody at all because it doesn't mean any prices have gone down. Like the grocery prices have not gone down. The restaurant prices have not gone down. They have not. Like the car prices have not come down. Like everything, nothing's come down, and certainly nothing service-oriented has come down, or anything that's like Netflix is up, Spotify is up, everybody's going up. Okay, like for real humans in your everyday life, you don't see anything going down. It doesn't go down. It just means the rate of increase, the rate of price increase has dropped substantially. And it does actually mean a few things have gone down. But what does it actually mean? It means the Bank of Canada is going to continue to cut rates. I took a bunch of flack last week for, hey, look, the fixed rates have gone back up again. The bond yields aren't, the bond, blah, 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 blah. Hey, folks, I've said 1,000 times it's not linear, but the destination of lower rates, particularly lower prime rate, lower Bank of Canada rate, lower commercial bank prime rate is set. The destiny is set. It will happen. Okay, how do we know it's going to happen? Because the Canadian economy gets worse and worse. And most important, it ain't going to get better. The trend is down. So the Bank of Canada is going to keep cutting rates. But wait, you say, what if the feds don't cut enough in the States? What if the Federal Reserve doesn't cut enough? They will cut. They may not cut as fast, but the pressure is on in Canada. And inflation is not a meaningful issue anymore. So, Bank of Canada keeps going down. Maybe next meeting's at the end of October. Is it going to go down a full 50 basis points, 0.5%? Is it going to go down 0.25%? Doesn't matter. Could be 50, could be a quarter. There'll be another drop in December. They have another announcement in December. It'll go down then. It'll go down in the new year too. It's coming down, whether it's a 50 or a 25. It's important if you have a variable rate mortgage today and I would like to see my interest go down. And that's very valid. Yes, you should want that. But the trend is the key, and the trend is down. And the trend is talking about the weakness, not just in the Canadian economy, but many economies throughout the world. That's the real story. The future of the rate is the real story, not parsing the tiny change. Was it a quarter? Is it 50? Is the CPI this? Is the jobs report that? The jobs report is just a magic 8 ball. It's a number that comes up, and it never really makes any sense. You want to ask yourself the real truth about the Canadian jobs market. Hey, public service is fine. I mean, they keep hiring. Various levels of government keep hiring. School boards, in some cases, keep hiring. Hospitals hire. I mean, that's just the way it goes. But ask yourself, what's going on in the private job market? Do you think big ticket sales are up? Things like washers, dryers, flat screen TVs? Oh, please, whatever you do, don't tell me Costco is full, because that's what I hear all the time. Oh, Ron, you're wrong. Economy's doing fine. Costco is full and the keg is full. But the keg is full on Friday and Saturday night because people have birthdays. Okay. And the Costco's busy because it's friggin' Costco. It's Costco, for Christ's sakes. Okay. It's always busy. Is there as much stuff in the baskets? Look, I like to use real analysis here. Yes, those few places are a little bit busy. They don't make up the economy. Costco and the keg don't make up the economy. So we got to quit talking about them. Let's ask ourselves the real questions. Big ticket items. Like I said, washers, dryers, furniture. Go into a furniture store and ask if you can find them, the one salesperson how things are going. They're going, if you can just take that person out for a drink and give them some truth serum or something and say, how's it really going? Oh, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Furniture sales are terrible. Maybe they're okay in parts of Alberta, but they're not okay in almost any other place. Not okay in BC, not okay in Ontario. They're bad. How's construction? I've talked about this 100 times before. Construction, not good. There's no new starts in the provinces, BC and Ontario, that make up half of all the population of this country. There's no new starts. No new starts at all. How's manufacturing doing? Ask people who work in plants. I don't care whether you're making Amish furniture or whether you're making cars. Is it busier or slower? I'm going to give you the answer. It's universally slower. It's all slower. There's less overtime. Nobody's getting hired. It's just slower. Okay? So trucking. You want to try trucking on? How's truck sales going? They are so dead, it's ridiculous in those two big provinces. And also the number of trips, the number of goods moving on trucks is down. Ask anybody who's actually in the trucking business. It's terrible. So when we think about all of these things, the average of the success of private business in Canada, not public sector, private sector, is bad. And there's nothing on the horizon that's going to turn it around. Nothing. There's nothing in the next 6 months that's going to fix it all and start adding to shifts, more workers, people are hiring. Not happening. It's not going to happen. So what does that mean? It means that the Bank of Canada rate comes down. It means that commercial prime comes down. It means that variable mortgage rates come down. As I've said 100 times, just take variable.